Good morning, Dubai. How are you doing? And welcome back to the Lovin Daily, where I take you through the trending stories that everyone in Dubai is talking about. Later on in the show, we have an incredible interview with the chairman of DMCC, who's talking to us about basement diamond vaults.
Wow.
That are hidden away in JLT. Love to check them out. He said they're secure. They are like Mission Impossible secure. It's really, really cool. We caught up with him. We're going to talk about that later. We're also talking about COVID and the effect it had on society in the UAE and the happiness felt by residents, which is pretty cool. And also giving you the lowdown on Dubai Restaurant Week, how you can eat at some of the best restaurants in the city from 95 dirham.
Oh, and we'll also be talking about how the UAE shut down a supermarket after finding insects in the food and really. And Circle Mall in JVC to open very, very soon.
Very exciting.
Exciting stuff, but more exciting than that.
We had a spontaneous burst of applause in the office. I don't care how cheesy it sounds. Lovin Dubai had a landmark moment yesterday, and I just could not be more proud. Should do the honors.
We were sent food. No.
No, we do.
It's not that big also. Like not as big as being sent food. We just got like a billboard on Sheikh Zayed Road. Yeah.
Just one of those moments.
Just a massive billboard with Lovin Dubai in partnership with Dubai Food Festival. Not that, like
this is a chill.
Yeah,
what day was it yesterday? What Tuesday?
Tuesday?
I don't know about you. I like nearly shed a tear. I think that's like one of the coolest things that could possibly happen. It's got our logo on it. It's on Lakeside Road. You guys have to look at it every day.
Lucky y'all.
Lucky y'all. It's Dubai Food Festival, which we're going to talk about a little bit. But just to see our logo, I mean, we're a very small company and it's taken a few years. We're just 5.5 years old. But I think that's such a legitimate thing.
Yeah. But major
so
props to you, Rich, Amy, like you guys got the company where it is today, May, and like all of the Sally, Kauthar, Chai, like you guys are like.
You guys, no. We, and I literally see Chai's behind the screen today. He's just waiting. Simran's naming out May. Okay, she didn't say Amy.
Hi, Richie, everyone. Honestly, you guys took the company like through so much and got it to where it is today. So
don't say you guys. We.
Everyone. No, we're new.
Yeah,
we're just new. So it's mostly.
How long have you been working with Lovin Dubai, Simran, including the freelancing days?
So
and the interning, all of it.
2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like.
Just not you. We're only 5 years old.
No, but like
you've been here for you're like half.
40%.
40.
But
fast math, Chai.
I mean, Sheikh Zayed Road. When I was commuting today, I'm like looking out for it, but I think it's only when you're driving you can catch it.
It's when you're driving, and when you're driving into Dubai Mall as well, you can see it as well. So if anyone sees it, we got 2 pictures shared with us yesterday, but if anyone sees more, please share them with us so we can humble brag. which the last 5 minutes have just been. But let's jump into our first story. 98% of UAE residents are happy with how the pandemic was handled, and I'd love to get your thoughts and if you agree with these stats. It came from a survey conducted by the UAE government. So obviously last night, every single Tuesday is the UAE press briefing, and they kind of gave us a summary of the feeling felt by residents throughout the pandemic. So they said during COVID-19, the UAE society faced many changes. We faced many challenges. We had social distancing, we had quarantine, we had isolation, and these are things that we've never been through before, and they basically changed our behaviors. And from that, the government actually noted that it actually increased family and community solidarity, such as how virtual weddings helped us stay healthy and also relieved family burden. And I think a lot of people felt that, because you didn't have to put the big fuss into weddings, but we talked about it a lot, and it wasn't really your thoughts.
My thoughts on this is like definitely the UAE has actually what?
No, continue, please continue.
What? On weddings, right?
Yeah.
I kind of zoned out, to be honest. But I read the article this morning and I'm like, yeah, it actually, like, you said this a couple of days ago, like it brings you back to basics.
Mm-hmm.
And like recently it's been about the big fat wedding and going all out, splurging and stuff. So now it's like, about the loved ones and celebrating it with your partner, and it's just like brought it down to basics, the pandemic.
100%.
So it's amazing.
So what you're saying,
that was a question, right?
Is pretty much, but I just want to clarify your thoughts. So if you were to be getting married, you'd be happy to pare it back down to basics and not have the big fuss. And not even the wedding. How about the engagement?
That was the question.
Well, it wasn't the question, but it's what I was leading into. No, you're fine with the one-on-one engagement, no photographers, no crowds watching. That's
definitely
that's kind of what you just.
No, I mean, like, for people it's good.
For other people.
But I would wait out the pandemic and then get married personally and have like that big fat Indian wedding.
So you want the big fat Indian wedding?
Yeah, I want the big
the
fat
5-day celebration.
Oh yeah,
I want an invite, please.
Of course not. Just kidding.
I'll get vaccinated. I'll wear a nice dress.
But Casey, would that be okay for you? I know you're very like simple. You said you're very simple when it comes to all this.
I don't want the big fat Irish wedding.
No.
You
like it simple? You're fine with a Zoom wedding?
I would probably just have done it because why wait? In terms of like, you could just have this big party anytime. Why does it have to, like, if you're like choosing to spend your life with someone, that can happen any day. Like, once you make that massive commitment, you can do it at any point, and then when it's safe to do so, have the family. So why put off this lifelong commitment because you want to have the official union in front of people when you can just have the big party, which I definitely want, like a big party with all my closest friends, not 200, not 300. Let's say I've got like 3 close friends, so that'd be nice.
Oh my God.
No, family and friends to fly in.
Does that include Simran and me?
Absolutely not. No, but I don't need to wait to make that commitment for when my whole family, because they're all based across the world, like I'm sure many of you guys' family are. I wouldn't wait. I don't need to wait for that. I can just do it.
No, absolutely not.
I
zoned out there.
Good to know someone's paying attention. But we'll move into the study, and it really does show, and I really do think that we have said this time and time again on the show about how lucky we have felt as residents to be in Dubai in the last year. And the study proves that. It shows measures taken by the UAE positively contributed to enhancing family cohesion by 97%. 96% of respondents confirmed that the UAE was exceptional in handling the challenges resulting from the crisis, 100%. The study also showed that the UAE government's handling of the pandemic's effect contributed to the spread of reassurance and a sense of safety among community members by 98%. We feel safe anyway being in Dubai, and measures, it's basically summarizing measures taken by the government had kind of amplified our feeling of safety, and I agree with that. I would have been responding yes to all of those things.
And they rolled out so many initiatives during the pandemic, like if you do break the laws and if you are caught violating any of the protocols, you will be named, you'll be shamed, and they got creative.
Picture on the interweb.
Scary.
No one wanted that.
Yeah. And you had to get permits to go out for groceries. I think that was such a smart and fast initiative, like to have that website built so fast and being so user friendly, and then getting creative with drones and having them sanitize everything.
So true.
Street sanitizations, amazing.
Yeah, do you remember how weird it was, that lockdown? Just like, it was just like, is this actually happening? Am I really not able to leave my apartment to go get cash? But it was all for the good of keeping us safe and healthy. So
can I be very honest? No. Should I? No, I don't know. Okay, now Casey's like, okay, you might as well not say it. I was excited because, like, you know, like we're typing out the news. So it's like just interesting what's happening next. Like, what do we write? Like, you know, it was just, I don't know, the suspense at the time was interesting. It was very scary, like for sure. Like no one knew what the virus was at the time and everything around it, and we were waiting for the vaccinations. We were scared for our loved ones and each other, and like people who were in different countries and they were locked out. That was of course very scary, but I don't know, like it was, I don't know, it's like you were in a movie, you know, those.
Well, it's so interesting coming
movies
from a journalist perspective, and it's something that is probably maybe difficult for other people to understand, that when there's big news, whether it's happy or sad or scary or terrifying, you're writing that breaking news, and it is a sense of suspense, and it is like this massive reaction. So, and then you're gauging the public society based on your articles, and it's definitely a suspenseful moment, because I think the whole world held our breath for about a whole month. We're like, what are we doing?
Honestly,
like I tried to go to Marina Mall for supermarket shopping, and there was no one around. I felt like it was a twilight zone, and I was the only one out because you had to get your permits, and I was wearing gloves in like 35-degree heat walking through. It was weird.
But it was like a movie, like, you know, have you seen Contagion?
No, but I know where you're going.
Yeah, so that movie, I loved that movie, and it was literally like we were living that movie. I don't know, it was very cool. But the UAE took so many measures, as they are still doing, And speaking of which, the UAE shut down a supermarket after finding insects in the food. And after repeated food and safety violations, a supermarket in Abu Dhabi was shut down after authorities found insects in its food area display. And Emirat Al Youm reported that the Abu Dhabi Agriculture and Food Safety Authority closed the Fair Price supermarket for violating law number 2 of 2008 regarding the food in Abu Dhabi and constituting a danger to public health. 3 fines were already issued against the facility for the same reasons, in addition to a final warning on March 24th, but the facility did not comply, and now the venue has been shut and can only reopen once the hygiene conditions have been corrected. And authorities in the UAE are monitoring violations as a part of the inspection efforts aimed at strengthening the food and safety system in Abu Dhabi and ensuring that all establishments adhere to food safety requirements. And the authorities are also urging the public, if you do see any violations, do call up this is for Abu Dhabi residents, so do call up 800-555 and the authorities will take all the appropriate actions. And yuck.
Sums up that story.
Yeah. Nasty.
I have a question.
Yeah. Like what kind of bugs, right? You were gonna ask? Like fruit flies?
No, but like...
Oh.
This is like I grew up around farms, so I probably should have asked it years ago. But you're growing fruit and veg in the ground. Aren't they going to have bugs?
I guess.
How do you? Because I know organic farming is really careful with how everything is protected and stuff, and they're not spraying it. But I guess spraying
pesticide and all
that keeps the bugs away. But especially with organic farming, isn't there going to be some it's just? But I guess, look, if you're shopping at a supermarket and you find bugs in it, it's just not nice.
I mean, I've been to so many organic supermarkets, but I think there should be something like hygiene protocol in place where they do disinfect somehow, because I've not really seen bugs except for the fruit flies here and there. But this might be very different. They didn't specify on what kind of insects. Maybe spiders.
Just keep on the lookout if you're shopping. Just don't pick up the ones that have bugs in them.
I was in a mall 2-3 years ago and we were in this bakery. And over there we saw so many flies, and this was a very well-known bakery, and there were so many flies in the display where there were all these cakes and stuff kept, and we're just like, oh my god, if the health ministry see this, they're gonna like just shut it down. But restaurants have to be so careful in the UAE I mean, you should be careful everywhere in the world, but
yeah, they have to be so careful, but even especially like outdoor restaurants, you can't stop the flies. And a lot of like you go to really nice places and there's flies there and there's nothing they can do about it. So they'll have like these incense candles and sticks and flames and things, but it doesn't help. You just have to put up with it. It's like they're there.
Yeah, they are. I mean,
all you can do is make sure that you're not like you don't have wasted food sitting out and that you're taking all the precautions, and then they're just there and you just have to put up with it. I don't really mind bugs or flies.
Have you ever had? I've experienced a cockroach in a shisha lounge once.
Yeah.
Have you ever had one of those experiences?
I had a rat run over my foot.
Yuck! In Dubai?
No.
Okay. Where?
Cambodia.
Okay.
I don't know where we're going with that. Sorry, that was gross for this morning.
Ew,
Tell me about your cockroach and shisha. I feel like that's more.
Did you wash your feet? Did you scream?
No, haven't washed it since.
I mean, like instantly, did you get a mini heart attack? Like, what was your reaction?
I think it was more of shock, because you look down and you see this like massive rodent cross your foot, and you're like, because I was in a bar and I was just like, how does that thing? And then I remember, there's probably not great sewage plumbing. There wasn't, because it opened out onto the beach. So.
I would have passed out. I'm not even joking. The cockroach gave me a heart attack. Imagine a rat. I wouldn't be living to see today.
Yeah. It's an interesting time. Let's move on to a totally different subject. So please disregard everything we just said. Now we're moving on to much sunnier, more delicious pastures, because we're talking about Dubai Food Festival and how you can get 50% off at top restaurants in Dubai, in case you've been living under a rock. And if you missed the start of the show where we talked about the fact that there's a Love in Dubai logo on Sheikh Zayed Road in collaboration with Dubai Food Festival. Dubai Food Festival is in full swing, and with that you've got heaps of offers to enjoy across the city. And one that we love in particular, Dubai Restaurant Week, is ongoing right now, and that showcases more than 40 of the city's finest restaurants with either 2 or 3 course lunches or dinners at great prices, actually starting from 95 dirham. And these deals are running on until April 10th. Wow. So Dubai Restaurant Week is actually just the name, but it's running for the entire duration of Dubai Food Festival. So until April 10th, you can literally live your best life. Like, I love eating out, but I can't always afford it, the best restaurants. But it's so much fun scrolling through these restaurants. Like, they literally have some of the best restaurants in the city.
They do, and it's only till next Saturday, April 10th.
April 10th.
Rep it, guys. Rep it. Like, I call myself a foodie, but I don't know if I am or not. But yeah, I would really like book all these fancy restaurants. And there's so many. Like, if you guys check out the visit Dubai.com and what's there for the food festival, there are so many fancy restaurants. Hell's Kitchen, Amal, Armani restaurant in the Burj Khalifa, C'est La Vie, like all the restaurants you've been dying to go to, the fancy 5-star hotel
100%.
restaurants, and you're like, oh my god, it's too expensive. Now is the time.
Yeah, 100%. I knew Dubai Restaurant Week was starting, and it's one of my favorite foodie things of the year. So when it began, I was scrolling through, picking like my 6 favorite and narrowing it down. And on the first day, I went to Kato, which is the Peruvian Japanese restaurant in Jumeirah Al Nasim, and I had a 3-course meal for 250 dirham. And like, if you're eating the best food in the city for that price, it's amazing. And they also have, like, it's from 95 dirham at different places, different 3-course menus. So if you love to eat out at nice restaurants, now is the time to save some money.
Now is really the time. You know, it's different. Like, you have these budget restaurants where that really, you know, like the taste you can't compare, and you're like, oh, why do we go to expensive restaurants when we have these, you know, hidden gems that are so affordable? But high-end restaurants are high-end for a reason, you know. That whole experience and the vibe and the courses, like, it's just a whole different experience. And when you go for one of them, you're just like, oh, that's why it's high, and that's why we have to, you know, spend our salaries on this.
Well, there's a lot to be said for both, I think. You can go out to the best restaurant city, have an amazing experience, or you can follow the hidden gems, also something part of Dubai Food Festival that you can find, and you can find like the most incredible, authentic cuisine on a street corner. Like, literally, I feel that, and I love being able to experience both. I really do.
Honestly, best of both worlds, and you can get it for these 10 days because it's going to be on 50%, and then you'll get 3 and 2-course meals for a very affordable price. So many things you guys need to check out. And do go on the website, visit Dubai.com, and you can see the list of restaurants that they are hosting. Amazing. Zeta, Bella, Thiptara. Okay, anyway.
Boca. Akira Beck. Kato. So many.
But moving on from restaurants to malls. Now, Circle Mall in JVC to open real soon. Now, as we know, Jumeirah Village Circle doesn't have any malls open at the very moment, which in Dubai standards is, you know, quite weird because there are malls in every corner. And this makes the Circle Mall the very first shopping mall and leisure destination to open up in JVC. The Circle Mall has been under construction since 2016, and a quick Google search indicates that it will open on April 8th, which is just next week. Wow. And it's next week. So if you stroll around JVC, you will see banners around the mall that weren't there before. Example, the soon to open Spinny's supermarket banner. And the Circle Mall will consist of 235 shops, restaurants, many restaurants, entertainment outlets, a cinema, Spinny supermarket. And this will be spread across 3 floors. And you'll also find fitness centers and so many interesting things. You know, like, I'm talking about JVC, the place where you go and then you'll never come out of, like,
a nice little windy tour that you'll take when you get in that everyone enjoys. Yeah.
If you're in the mood to drive and get lost, JVC. But it's got amazing studios. Like, I know some of my friends stay in JVC, and if you have a car,
my friends stay there.
If you have a car, it's pretty like ideal. It's in a location that's away from the city bustle, and good prices, and then you have the mall opening up, and like, of course, a lot of things will be opening up, and hopefully soon, like, the metro might also end up connecting to places like Silicon Oasis, JVC.
And I think this story was born from the community talking about it, because I think it's been nearly like an investigation, because people are seeing the banners come up, and they're seeing, if you Google it, it says April 8th. So that date is a little bit TBC because there's no official confirmation, but just do keep a look at it. I have an unpopular opinion.
Yeah.
There are not enough malls in Dubai.
You would really? Are you serious though?
100% serious.
Are you legit serious?
Legit serious.
I don't think that's.
It's an unpopular opinion.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
So malls in Dubai are very much a community hub, right?
Yeah.
They're different, for me, they're different to shopping centres in Ireland where I literally just went to buy fashion and beauty. Malls in Dubai are your hub, especially in the summertime, for currency exchange, all your banking, your phone, your supermarket, clothes, makeups, presents, and nice things for everything. But basically, it's your entire community happens in the mall. So you need a highly functioning mall near you to make life easy.
That's true.
So different areas I've lived in Dubai have been serviced by a mall, but it may not be. It may not have everything you need. So then you're always traveling to the big dogs like Mall of the Emirates, Dubai Mall. So therefore, I think that's why people are so excited about this mall in particular, because it's opening up for a massive community. We know lots of people who live there, JVC, and that's going to be the highly functioning mall for them. So I do think that bigger communities, especially as they're growing and as communities spread out further, you're going to see more malls pop up, and it'll make parking easier. It makes everything, like, then you'll have a cinema nearby. It just makes sense to me.
But I would think maybe have a community center.
No, I'm just laughing at my unpopular opinion.
But I would think have a community center, because if you have a mall in such a niche area, then you wouldn't be expecting as much business as malls like in Dubai Mall and Mall of the Emirates and Ibn and stuff. But by the way, I took out like a list of malls in Dubai and it's like, if you look,
it depends how you clarify a mall, right? Because you're saying a community center.
But
yeah, we're a city of 3-4 million people. By 2040, we're going to be double that.
Yeah.
And I need a.
How many malls are there?
Okay, it doesn't say the number, but should I read out the number? Like, should I just give out the names? Dubai Mall, Mall of the Emirates, Sahara Center, Dera City Center, Mercado, Berjuma, Nakheel, Dubai Festival City, Ibn Battuta, Oasis Mall,
all
Wafi
serving
Mall,
fantastic purposes.
Century Mall,
all
Dubai
needed.
Marina, Dubai Outlet, Grand Shopping Mall, Souk Madinat, Souk Al Bahar, Times Square. Yeah,
Souk Al Bahar is not really a mall. I don't know about that list. Where did you get that? Wikipedia doesn't count.
But some of these malls are completely not completely, somewhat empty because it doesn't get as much crowd in those niche areas. Like, I know where I was previously living, there was a big mall and was empty half the time because it's in such a niche location. So I feel like business you spend so much, invest so much in making these malls and then doesn't get back the returns you would hope.
No, 100%. No, I'm not saying every mall is perfect and every mall is packed. However, I'm just saying as communities grow and spread, it is quite convenient to have a modern mall that has all the conveniences that you need in your neighborhood nearby.
True that.
Moving on. After the break, this is really cool. We're going to be joined by the DMCC Chairman, who will be talking about pets and diamond vaults and JLT. This is, of course, Ahmed Sultan bin Suleiman, the Executive Chairman of the Dubai Multi-Commodity Centre, as you know better, DMCC. We had him in studio to discuss everything JLT related. And actually, we had an amazing conversation about how JLT became pet friendly. Of course, this is one of the most pet-friendly communities in Dubai, and just the conversation of how it happened in terms of higher ups. You think, how did that happen and how did that roll out? The way he described it is just you're like, interesting. So stay tuned. In about 30 seconds, you're going to hear that. Welcome back to the Lovin Daily. On the show, we are honoured to be joined by Ahmed Sultan bin Suleiman, Executive Chairman of the Dubai Multi-Commodity Centre, as you probably know it, the DMCC. Under his leadership, the DMCC has introduced countless new initiatives. Some you'll have heard of it and some you may not have heard of. And as well as helping one of the most community-focused neighbourhoods in Dubai, welcome to the show.
Great to be here, finally.
Yeah, it feels like we kind of have the big boss in the studio. Of course, we're in JLT. This is our incredible, stunning view every morning, but this is your neighbourhood. Welcome to the show. Should I feel like the big boss is in the studio?
No, I'm one of the staff. I keep hearing that, from comments that, I've built DMCC. In my opinion, DMCC shaped who I am. I was part of the founding member during the conceptual stage in 2001. It was unveiled in 2002 of April. We started registering licensing businesses in 2003. We were working off the Port Rashid for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Emirates Towers, 4th floor, 19th floor. And then we moved into the Almas Tower, early 2008, I believe. I went through multiple stages. I think the big difference was around the global recession time. We were 1,200 members at the time, and the global recession kicked in, and we used the adjustment in property rates, residential and all that, as a reason of why companies should come here.
Mm-hmm.
By that time, we've already sold out Almas Tower to end users. We sold out at the end of 2004. We represented around 450 companies at the time. We used the Oracle system, which we tailor-made to our needs, and Almas Tower, the tallest diamond tower in the world till today, was sold out to end users in a matter of 7 hours. So we didn't have an issue with the building when the recession happened, but it was about keeping the momentum going. And we adjusted. From 2008 onwards, DMCC captured on average 2,000 companies per year.
Not bad.
And last year we broke the record of 6 years before that, I believe, with 2,025 companies.
Amazing.
Or so. I hope I got that number right. And and last year DMCC won the best free zone globally for a 6th time in a row. I believe strongly that the team should have no excuses of winning it a 7th time, especially with initiatives like the DMCC Crypto Center, the activity we've had with the Dubai Diamond Exchange, new products on the Dubai Gold and Commodities Exchange, for example, the Pakistani Rupee, the Israeli Shekel, and a few more products, and the growth of the Coffee and Tea Center.
This is it. The number of initiatives you're involved with is incredible. You mentioned diamonds, you mentioned tea, you mentioned crypto. There's also gold. You're also very community focused. And you also mentioned that the Almas is kind of the tallest diamond tower in the world. And I want to talk a little bit about diamonds because they've been hitting headlines recently. A ping pong diamond valued at millions and millions of dirhams. When did DMC decide to get involved with diamonds, and why and how?
It was part of the mandate. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum had these plans from the mid-90s to the late 90s, but it was rejected a few times from himself. It needed to make business sense. They don't jump on an initiative, the Dubai government, just for the sake of it. So to my luck, when I was around in Dubai, the initiative was approved. And I joined really to gain experience. I wasn't thinking of going to be here for 2-3 years. And I thought it's an initiative I'd like to learn more about. And DMCC's name was actually Dubai Metals and Commodities Center. And the focus was mainly gold. But the decree had diamonds, color stones, and commodities, which includes agri.
Mm-hmm.
When we looked at the diamond section, we engaged with the top players in the industry, the most influential. One of which was Eli Hezikov, the founder of the World Diamond Council, and I think 2 or 3 times the president of the World Federation of Diamond Bourses. He connected us to the industry, assisted us in putting the business together, and the World Federation of Diamond Bourses, despite UAE being the first Arab country to apply, looked beyond the politics, saw the opportunities within that business. So Dubai Diamond Exchange was accepted by the World Federation of Diamond Bourses with China in the same year, I believe 2003 or 2004 at the latest. Dubai until now is still a rough diamond center. There is some polished diamonds. We're looking at ways of attracting more polished diamond trading, especially with the Abrahamic Accord and the direct trading line now with Israel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting advice from some of the biggest players in the diamond industry, some in South Africa, some in Belgium, India. So we're looking. We're gonna push hard to make Dubai also a polished diamond center.
Well, rough diamonds or polished, I've heard a little rumor that in the basement of the Almas Tower, which is the tallest tower in JLT, there is a diamond vault. First of all, is it true? And second of all, what does it look like? And can we go on a visit?
Yes, I'll walk you around there. I think there are no cameras allowed in the gold vault.
I can imagine.
It's managed by Brinks Securities. They won the tender back in 2008, and they've been managing that vault till now. They actually took on also the diamond vault. So the gold vault, supposedly, I'm told, is the largest in the MENA region.
Can you imagine what that's going to look like in Dubai?
It doesn't look as big as the Hollywood movies. I went in. It's big, but and it's protected. I mean, it's a structure within a structure.
Wow.
You can actually walk around the vault, and it's basement 4, I believe.
Mission Impossible, like churning
No.
here.
Tom Cruise can't do it. Trust
No, it doesn't
me.
sound like it.
The robotic diamond vault was also managed by Brinks until recently. Today, Ferrari is managing that, and it's actually on the same level of the Dubai Diamond Exchange. And I guess you can see some similarities with the movie, the Da Vinci Code, where you go in and it's not a manned facility. You use your card, have your password, and the door behind you has to be closed.
So cool.
And the vault has, I believe, 110 boxes, which can be almost doubled or so. Each box takes about 12 to 13 kilos of diamonds.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not really for the members in Al Mastar, it's for the travelers who don't have the facilities. Banks are utilizing it. I heard that there is also Bitcoin and other gadgets also stored there.
Of course.
Bonds and all that, but I wouldn't know. We don't check that. But it's a fun thing to have. We designed that early on, and it's been operational since.
Amazing. That's just one tiny little piece of information you may not have known about JLT. One thing many of us do know is JLT is a home for many of my friends. My office is here. We love it for its food. We love it for the community, and we love it because it's pet friendly. So first of all, thank you for the dog park. And
I was randomly in that meeting. It takes a lot. It's hard to be in all of the discussions related to DMCC, and I was just sitting there listening, and there was a decision not to have pets, and I'm like, why is that? Well, that's because the rest of the community are doing that. I said, no, I don't have an issue with it. We will make it pet friendly. And they're like, but this and that. I'm like, fine. Every corner will have a doggy bag, and we'll include that in the master community service chat. It wasn't a big deal. We have a pet park right now, and I'd like to do a little bit more. I mean, if I have a pet, if I do, in the end finally get a pet, I want to take it with me to work, and I want to have a place to keep it at.
Do you hear this, Rich? We could have dogs in JLT offices.
No, I did not say in the office. Somewhere.
That's what I heard.
Pet care. I took inspiration from Amazon's offices in Seattle, and I recall on one of the rooftops there was a dog park, and the dogs are running around doing circles and all that.
Well, this is amazing, because that was going to be my question. Why did you decide to go against the norm? Because the norm in Dubai is not pet friendly, but JLT specifically very much is. So it's really cool that you went against the grain. So I was wondering what pushed that decision. I
don't buy it. I personally don't buy it. Even historically, I'd like to challenge it. I mean, if you talk about from 1,400 years ago and above, we were all shepherds here. I mean, we couldn't take care of our cattle and goods without dog help.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's only when the Arabian Peninsula became more and more urbanization, you've had an issue. And it's all about hygienic. If you take care of a place, then it can be managed. It's just about maintaining the matter.
Amazing. One of the other things I love about JLT is the food. My favorite pizza place, my favorite burrito place, and my favorite Vietnamese place is all within about
What's
50...
your favorite pizza place?
Pitfire.
I heard about it. Today I was asked about it.
It's my favorite. And Vietnamese burrito, they're all within 20
What's
meters of each other.
What's your favorite Greek place?
No, burrito. Oh, Greek?
Yeah.
I actually saw Mythos. It's one of my favorites.
They won an award on What's On, apparently.
And
they bagged another one, I just don't recall.
Mythos is a very nice, cozy vibe. It's really nice. But that's, how much focus do you put on bringing in these foodie places? Did that happen naturally, organically?
No, it wasn't natural. Well, kind of. Right before the global recession, the landlords, private developers, were faced with a dilemma. About 80 to 90% of the brands in Dubai were represented by 4 or 5 families who are used to having free rent, subsidies, etc. from the big malls, from the airport expansion, and there was so much. So they would ask these ridiculous requests, which the private developers didn't go for. Global recession kicked in, and you see in JLT a community you don't find anywhere else. You see homegrown brands. Just Falafel's first or second brand was here, and it went IPO. But this came from this part of the world. I don't know where they are today, but this is one example. KCAL started here when there was barely any F&B. Nola and Mythos.
They're amazing restaurants.
Established by Alex Economides and his sister Faye. Did an excellent job. I mean, they even went as far as going to New Orleans to see what they can bring here. And they had to do something better than what you find in New Orleans, actually. And that was something I brought up in a discussion with the mayor of New Orleans, that we do have a New Orleans culture. We'd like to bring the art culture and the coffee culture to Dubai, kind of like build off each other. You got simple new concepts like pet spa here, things like that, and which brought a smile to my face. It kind of brings to light His Highness' advice on not looking at the challenges within opportunities, not looking at the opportunities within the challenges, not the other way around. So it did open up a door. And today businesses might set up and move on, but that's life. You have a culture, you have a community. There are educational services here, clinics, more clinics coming by as well.
The new Aviv Clinic, is this something that's kind of, like, we could see it here, I've been watching it, the construction over the last couple of years. It's an Aviv brain technology, future aging, something very strange, but it's all coming.
I'm not sure if this is the hyperbaric chamber that we're talking about, Aviv one. I don't know if they've named it that way. There's one that I'm looking at with the government group. I'm not entitled to mention, but it follows Shai Efrati's concept, who's a speaker on TED Talk. If you YouTube TED Talk hyperbaric chamber, he's gonna pop up, and it's about anti-aging, speeding recovery, and all that. So yeah, there's a bit of work on that.
Very, very interesting. JLT has changed so much over the last number of years. I think correct me if I'm wrong, 2012, when the lakes were drained on one side and they put in a grass space.
Maybe.
So that was a huge change to make. Is there any other big changes or initiatives like that JLT residents might see in the future? Yeah,
I mean, by the park, Tom and Serge is opening up one of their biggest facilities. Should be ready in a few months. I mean, I see Tom on and sending me updates every now and then.
Amazing.
And you know what's funny? Lani, a friend of mine, keeps telling me there's no specialty coffee. I don't know why I didn't tell him there's Common Grounds in Al Mas Tower who provides specialty coffee. I don't know if he's the only one that does specialty coffee, but Tom and Serge is coming, and hey, we will provide something on level 48. It's still in the conceptual stage, but it's from my perspective, I would like the brands that are not in the UAE to plug and play, try their products, and use experiment on our members here.
Amazing. Before you leave us, you have been working with DMCC, an incredible career, 19 years.
20 years.
20 years, just 20 years. That's incredible. 2 decades with DMCC. What is your proudest initiative or achievement within DMCC?
Not giving up when it seemed like the fat lady stopped singing. The biggest differences happened around that, and we saw a repeat of that last year. I refused to give up. We put out a display of the UAE gold bullion coins on Burj Khalifa when things were still quiet here for the first Eid right after Ramadan, and it felt like the momentum picked up really well from there. I'm proud of the members. It's hard for me to pick any of them. It's difficult. It was a difficult challenge joining the organization in early stages. Blank sheet of paper, not knowing where to start, especially when there's not really a lot of benchmark. Some of the key markets that we look at to benchmark are actually looking at us to assist them and their business. And I guess, I don't know, it's hard. It's the coffee center, something I love. The tea center, I can't overlook. Because of its success, we launched the coffee center. And now we're looking at the DMCC Cacao Center, which I'm not patient enough to wait for the land to be developed. There will be part of the activity within the coffee center itself, and there will be cross services where you will have cacao infused capsules, etc. So it's fun times. I can't pick any. All of them are great to me, really. But probably the sales of Al Mas Tower and moving in on time and having this life in JLT. It's hard to pick any of them.
100%. And look what's around us right now. Incredible. Thank you so much for your time. Guys, I think we've learned a little bit more about DMCC, and thank you for joining us. We really appreciate
Most
your time.
welcome. Thank you for having me.
Not at all. Guys, that is it for us on The Lovin Daily. We're back with you every single weekday morning, same time, same place. Stay safe and wash your hands. Bye-bye.